This week we're heading to the college town of Hamilton, home to Colgate University. Hamilton was founded in 1795 and was known as Payne Settlement, named for the Payne brothers who first settled here. The village was strategically laid out by Elijah Payne so that 5 roads converged at his hotel. Overlooking the green is the Hamilton Public Library and Museum.
This was a cedar swamp, and a speculator from New York bought this land, and he sold parcels. 2 brothers were interested, Eliza Payne and Samuel Payne. Eliza came and purchased the area that is now the village, and Samuel Payne came and purchased the area which is Colgate University. Both brothers eventually donated the land to the village and to the university.
Just like Elijah Payne, who welcomed travelers to his hotel, Colgate University welcomes visitors to their Colgate Inn, located on the site of Elijah's original hotel overlooking the village green.
Here in the center of the village at the end of the park is the Colgate Inn, which is a historic building that has superb food and some very famous artwork.
We're given a tour of the inn by manager Ben Eberhardt.
Originally, there's been a property known to be at this location since 1807. There's been certain variations on the property to what ultimately became a 45-room inn in 1929 when it was completed. They started in 1925. The university owns the property, and then we operate the property in a contract with them. And we have a great relationship. I have operational control, and so far everybody's very happy. The essence of an inn, it's really the heartbeat for the village. It's a combination of local Hamiltonians, alumni, parents, the transient guests coming in for lunch. That's what we want to feel is the vibrance of the village coming right through the doors in all directions. So that's absolutely what our goal is here.
Before or after your meal, take the time to tour the inn to see their artwork. For example, behind me is something done by my very good friend Hugh Humphreys, and in the tavern is the very famous painting Frankie and Johnny by Lee Brown Coy.
From the village green, you can walk in any direction and find interesting shops, studios, and galleries. Find the stately clock tower overlooking the center of town, and you'll discover an amazing independent bookstore, a popular destination for students, faculty, alumni, and villagers alike.
If you ask me to swim the 7 seas or fight a crocodile, I will on my swimming trunk just to see you smile. I know life is never easy, I've always had it.
7 years ago, to become more a part of the community, Colgate University moved its bookstore from the campus up on the hill to downtown Hamilton here on the corner of Lebanon and Utica Streets. It is a wonderful bookstore, some 4 stories. It is the largest independently owned downtown bookstore in New York State. Come on down here to Hamilton. It's worth taking a tour of this place and picking up a book for your summer reading. When you come here to Hamilton, be sure to tour all the side streets that go off of the park, including Lebanon Street, where I am right now, and stop into the Evergreen Gallery, because inside here there's all sorts of artwork, some 40 local artists, including Lisa Orishtian, who we featured on our show last year, whose jewelry is on display here. If you look at the tops of buildings here in Hamilton, quite often you will see the year 1895. 1895 was a very important year because that was the year that a horrible fire burned the downtown area to the ground. It was then rebuilt later that same year, and now the buildings all have at the top, 1895. The movie theater behind me was originally the Sheldon Opera House, and the marquee is a replica of the beautiful marquees that existed back in the early 20th century, and it was a gift of the Colgate class of 1956. Had you come here in 1918 to see the first movie ever shown, you would have seen Birth of a Nation, and if you had walked through the lobby of the theater, in the front lobby there was a grocery store that you could walk around to get in to see the movie, and I suppose pick up some things to eat while you're in there. Nowadays, of course, we all just go for the popcorn.
Just down Lebanon Street is a new organization dedicated to arts education, exhibition, and appreciation. Mad Art is a resource center and gathering place for the arts, exhibiting locally crafted fine arts and craft work and offering instruction for children, teens, and adults.
Getting high, I should be saying no.
Mad Art came about a year and a half ago, and it was developed by some local artists as well as some folks in the community that were interested in the arts and wanted to promote the arts in our area. And the mission of Mad Art is pretty simple, basically twofold. One mission is to display and to sell artwork in the gallery that we're in currently. And the other mission is an educational component where we do workshops, and the workshops can either take place on the premises in the gallery that we're in now or off-site. We have an ongoing commitment from the Picker Art Gallery at Colgate to do 1 or 2 workshops there. So it's pretty exciting. So we're looking for linkages between organizations. We're looking at it also as an economic driver for our community, where we're looking at the arts as a whole for our community. So not only Mad Art, but the other venues in town, such as the Palace Theater and the movie theater, is generating interest in our that will attract people to come visit us.
The display windows of the apothecary shop next door invite us inside. This has been a pharmacy since before the Great Fire of 1895. Today it is a modern drugstore that retains the charm of the turn of the last century.
While you're strolling around Hamilton, drop into the apothecary shop on Lebanon Street. It's called Crow's Drugstore, and I have here a prescription book that goes back into the 1800s. And it's interesting because this particular prescription says to drop into milk after meals, and it cost all of 10 cents. Again, I learned something new today. I've always wondered, as you may have, what the RX stands for on a prescription form. Well, the pharmacist here today, Patrick, told me what it means. It is derived from a Latin phrase that stands for communication from a doctor to a patient. Patrick has maintained the flavor of an old-fashioned drugstore in another way, and that's with candies. For example, here are 2 of my very favorites going back to when I was a child and went to Emery's drugstore on the corner. I think it was James and Dudley or Nielsen. Here they are, circus peanuts and spearmint leaves.
Beautiful Colgate University deserves a road trip of its own someday. Founded in 1817 by 13 men, 6 clergy, and 7 laymen, the university has grown to a highly selective, independent liberal arts college. Atop the rolling hills of the campus is a spiritual sanctuary and retreat house. Chapel House offers a setting for study, reflection, and meditation. Here, the seeker will discover personal insights through books, art, music, and nature.
In this world of constant noise, it's a pleasure to find someplace that is quiet all the time. Chapel House is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can come here and in the silence of this room, just think and meditate and get away from the busyness of the world.
It was created in 1959 as a place of retreat, meditation, contemplation for people of all religions and none, all spiritual pursuits. It's the only place like that in the world. Sometimes we'll get a call and people will say, well, do we have to work in the kitchen? Do we have to be up at 5 in the morning to be at prayers? No, this is a very personal thing. People come with their own agenda, the thing that they most want to think about or study or be in silence from and with. And they come and stay for 2 nights or longer. And they are in silence except at meal times. And they're free to use the books in the library, to appreciate the artworks which are from all over the world and from all spiritual belief systems, and to listen to music in the music room. And then we get together 3 times for meals. And that's when we let the talk flow. All the pent-up words come out at meal times, and we have wonderful talks, very special guests. And it's a very special place.
Mohawk Valley